Now at 5, why students at a Joplin elementary school taped their principal to a wall. Plus, we're going to meet the Joplin couple behind a viral video of a birthday meal straight out of Jurassic Park. And how a new Texas law is pushing the boundaries of how far a state can go to address illegal immigration.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Students at Stapleton Elementary in Joplin today taped their principal to the wall as a reward for a food drive. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The students have been collecting food for the past several days. The class that collected the most had the honor of taping the school's principal, Casey Plyler, to the wall. Officials say it's a good way to encourage the students to give back to those in need.
So we on the SOAR team believe that it's important for our students to know how to give back in their community to make a difference and to know how it is to give without needing a return. So in order to show them that, we made this more personal for them, to show them how their giving can be fun.
This reward comes after the students surpassed their goal of collecting at least 2,000 cans of food. A Joplin real estate agency today donated more than $21,000 to the Ronald McDonald House. Reese Nichols raised the money by having agents donate $100 for every home they helped buy or sell from April through October. That money will help provide 211 free nights of lodging and support for families in need of the Ronald McDonald House services.
Because it's a way to give back, and it's just such an impactful thing. We help families find homes, and the Ronald McDonald House provides homes for families when they have a child in the hospital, and it's just a very meaningful, feel-good way.
The donations were part of Reese Nichols' Gold Key project. Across the country, that project raised more than $300,000. If you've been scrolling on social media over the past couple of weeks, you might have seen a video made by a Joplin resident that's going viral. And then some. The video shows the surprise dinner the KCU student made for her 28-year-old boyfriend. However, it's not just a simple dinner. The presentation features a volcano made with mashed potatoes with the lava crafted from gravy, broccoli, asparagus, mushrooms, and dinosaur-shaped nuggets add to that microenvironment.
I first just wanted to film his reaction because I knew he was going to react to it. Like, I knew he was not suspecting. At some points, I was like, I really need to throw him off. So I'm like, I asked him, I was like, do you want fish or do you want something else? I can't remember. Like, I was trying to throw him off.
I didn't even have a TikTok account. I think the only reason why we put it on TikTok is because I wanted to put the soundtrack, the Jurassic Park soundtrack, and I know that you can do that on TikTok. So I asked Celine to upload it so we could have it with the video, and she just posted it.
Less than 2 weeks after posting that video made by Fayyad has reached more than 13 million views so far. That doesn't include the views from other pages that have reposted the content, so that's more than a few. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Tuesday for us today. A lot of clouds, and yeah, it was windy, but a pretty good day. And if we look outside, of course, we're looking down range lines, 51. It's 51 in Pittsburgh as well. If you are going to be out this evening doing a little bit of shopping, if you haven't started yet, you may want to start. We're going to be on the dry side as we go through the evening hours. All right, 49 Nevada, 50 in Monette. Grand Lake is sitting at 50. Let's go to Parsons, checking in at 49, but we have those southerly winds kicking in at about 10 to 15, and at times we're getting gusts upwards of 20 to 25, and I think these will actually increase a little bit as we go through the next couple days. A lot of clouds streaming through, and we're tracking our next storm system out to the west, which will start to affect us as we get a little deeper in the week, but at least through the evening hours, we slide back through the 40s. We're going to look at your holiday weekend here in just a bit.
Catch you then. The justices of the Supreme Court joined President Biden and the family of Sandra Day O'Connor inside Washington National Cathedral to say a final goodbye to the first woman to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court. Nominated by President Ronald Reagan back in 1981, the moderate conservative from Arizona served for more than 2 decades, 12 of those years as the only woman before retiring in 2006. Her biographer also noted that O'Connor was the deciding vote in 330 cases. A new immigration law out of Texas is raising the question of just how far a state can go to address illegal immigration. This comes after the state's Republican governor just signed one of the harshest state immigration laws in modern U.S. history. Reporter Jared Hill has the latest.
This morning, immigration taking center stage from the halls of Congress.
Finding the middle ground is exceptionally hard, and both sides must accept that they will have to make concessions.
To the southern border.
The goal of Senate Bill 4 is to stop the tidal wave of illegal entry into Texas.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott Monday signing a bill allowing local police to arrest migrants who cross the border illegally and giving local judges authority to order deportations.
The only thing we are doing by this law is making sure that our law enforcement have the tools they need to actually take action against those who are actually coming across the border illegally.
Data obtained by CBS News shows the Border Patrol apprehended nearly 7,900 people each day last week. That's up from 6,000 in October. This comes as former President Trump is being criticized for recent comments from the campaign trail.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America.
But GOP voters in Iowa and New Hampshire overwhelmingly support mass deportations of undocumented immigrants. Meanwhile, CBS News has also learned that the White House is working on bipartisan negotiations over the border in exchange for aid to Ukraine and Israel. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
That Texas law is set to go into effect in March. The state's chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union says it's going to challenge that measure in court, a move that could potentially sway the March deadline. The Pentagon says Houthi rebels in Yemen have launched more than 100 drone and missile attacks on at least 10 merchant ships in the Red Sea. The attacks have prompted shipping companies to stop using faster trade routes through the Red Sea, meaning you could end up paying more for just about everything you buy. The Houthis, which are backed by Iran, say they're carrying out the attacks in retaliation for Israel's war against Hamas. In China today, a powerful earthquake has killed more than 120 people and injured hundreds more. Survivors were left outside in below freezing weather while rescuers dug through the wreckage. That 6.2 magnitude quake hit the Gansu region. It's a remote and mountainous part of northwestern China. Still ahead, new places to rest your head.
Thousands of hotels are under construction and others have recently opened. I'm Wendy Gillette in New York City with a look inside some of the new offerings.
And next in Health Watch, we're going to hear from one of the first mothers to use a new drug to treat postpartum depression. Topping today's Health Watch, about 1 in 8 women who've given birth experience symptoms of postpartum depression. Well, now the first oral treatment for women with PPD is available. Reporter Danya Bacchus has more on how it works and one mother's story on getting the help she needed.
Caitlin Pratt says her mental health worsened after the birth of her son, Kason.
I feel like my anxiety went through the roof. I had absolutely no motivation to do anything. I had a newborn baby who obviously needed me, and all I wanted to do was sleep.
3 months later, she knew she needed more help. She saw an ad for a clinical trial testing a new treatment for postpartum depression and enrolled. Her symptoms improved within days.
Full of energy. I was like bouncing off the walls. I was going to sleep and I woke up feeling rested.
Usual treatment could be with antidepressants, which take weeks to work. Now the FDA-approved prescription drug called Zurzuvae is available, the first pill to treat PPD.
There is such a great need for fast-acting antidepressant drugs in all types of depression, but particularly in the very vulnerable period where you have a postpartum mother and baby.
Dr. Samantha Meltzer-Brody with UNC Health ran one of the clinical trials. Research showed the medication, taken for 14 days, improved symptoms at day 15 and as early as 3 days for women with PPD.
For any mother who is feeling sad, blue in a way that is persistent or interfering with functioning, changes in eating or sleeping, or feeling hopeless, or having any thoughts that life is not worth living, these are all things that should make you contact your doctor right away.
It's really important to take care of yourself, not just your baby. Your baby is what matters most, I know, but they also need a happy, healthy mom.
Kaysen is now 3 years old. Caitlin says she's grateful she got the help she needed. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Researchers say the most common side effect of that drug is some sedation, but they say it would be given once a day during the evening, and the side effect for most people is very mild to moderate. Regular toothbrushing, even while in the hospital, could save lives. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital have linked brushing your teeth to lower rates of pneumonia for hospitalized patients and lower ICU mortality rates. Hospital-acquired pneumonia typically enters through bacteria in the mouth and into the lungs. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, Google agrees to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to settle an antitrust lawsuit.
Plus, our temperatures warming up a little bit as we head toward the holiday weekend. We're going to look at that coming up. Not a bad Tuesday for us today, of course. We had a lot of clouds across the region, and it was windy, but we got into the 50s for highs instead of the lower 40s like we did see yesterday. Looking outside, nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. And we do have those clouds which are streaming through, but overall, it looks pretty good. Let's go ahead, zoom in. It's 50 in Carthage, 50 in Neosho. Fort Scott at 50 as well, Neodesha 49. Head south to Miami at 53. Anderson is sitting at 50 degrees. And look at our southerly winds. So all day long, kind of in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range. But on top of that, we've had gusts at times 20 upwards to about 25. And these are going to crank up even a little bit more as we go into the daytime hours on your Wednesday. So if we look at 9 a.m., we'll have southerly winds with gusts in that 25 to 30, maybe 32 mile per hour range. Backing down just a little bit on Thursday, but still we'll have gusts 20 upwards of 25 miles per hour. So it is going to stay kind of windy. If you're going to be out this evening, a lot of clouds. We slide back through the 40s, not near as cold for us tonight. You can see those clouds kind of shooting through the region, and this is all the beginnings of our next waves, which are out toward the west. In fact, let's go west. You can see one little wave right in here, western parts of New Mexico, and then we have these bigger systems that are dropping down just to the west of California, and all of these are going to head toward us. Here's our big system, and that moves in by the time we head right on into Christmas. So ahead of it, here's wave number one. It gives us rain chances, especially Thursday into Friday. It pushes east. Here comes wave number two. We get showers as we head into Sunday, and it looks like thunderstorms on Christmas Eve. You can see snow across the northern plains, and then it pushes through, and then early next week it just kind of sits and spins across Central Plains, keeping us cold, and a few hit and miss showers, maybe even a few snow showers as well. All right, let's go through the next 48 hours. A lot of clouds for you tonight. Temperatures near 40 for an overnight low. As we go into Wednesday, cloudy skies through the morning. It's windy, mid-50s by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, I think most of us 57, maybe 58 degrees. Case in point, 58 in Stockton, 57 in Anderson, Veneta, 59 Chanute at 57. Tomorrow night, clouds stick around. Could get a few light, very light showers trying to pop up. This is early Thursday morning, so hit and miss light showers on Thursday. Very light, not a big deal. But the rain really picks up Thursday night into Friday morning. Look at this. Pretty good shield that should give us some decent rainfall amounts. A lot of areas a quarter, maybe half an inch, maybe a little bit more than that as we go into Thursday and into Friday morning. You can see the heaviest along and south of I-44. All right, here's your day planner, and tomorrow 52 by 11, 57 by 3. Dropping back to 52 by tomorrow evening. 60 on Thursday with those showers increasing. Morning showers on Friday. And then as we go into the holiday weekend, temps into the 60s with those thunderstorm chances on Christmas Eve. Some morning showers on Christmas Day. Not a white Christmas, a little bit of a wet one.
Yeah, apparently. We need the rain.
We do.
Just don't want it really when we're traveling.
I agree.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, with more than 5,500 hotels under construction around the world, we're going to check out some of the unique experiences they'll offer. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Google has agreed to pay $700 million to states and consumers to settle an antitrust lawsuit. The Justice Department and dozens of states accuse the company of abusing its dominance in online searches. They say Google allegedly harmed competition through deals with wireless carriers and smartphone makers to make Google search their default or exclusive option. According to the settlement, about $630 million will go to a fund to benefit about 102 million consumers. According to a survey from the American Christmas Tree Association, 77% of Americans who display a Christmas tree say they opt for an artificial one. The shift to fake trees has been steady since the mid-1990s and spiked in 2021. According to the Real Christmas Tree Board, the natural Christmas tree industry has been in a slow decline over 40 to 50 years. Tree farmers also took a big hit during the economic downturn of 2008. There's a surge of hotel openings since the pandemic, and many more are in the pipeline. In the U.S. alone, there are more than 5,500 hotels under construction right now. That's according to Lodging Econometrics. Wendy Gillette reports on some of the new hotels around the world getting a lot of buzz.
The bustling bar at So Paris may be familiar to eagle-eyed fans of the Netflix hit Emily in Paris, since it's featured in season 3.
I just need to know, are you on my team or not?
The artsy hotel filled with fresh flowers where youthful staff don designer duds opened just over a year ago, offering funky rooms with expansive views, a spa managed by French brand Codage, and a rooftop restaurant overlooking the city.
It's an amazing 360 view over Paris to see all the monuments.
A few hours south in the Burgundy wine region, Como Le Montrachet opened its doors earlier this year, the first Como hotel in France, one of the properties we visited for a special rate. Los Angeles resident Amy Bryan stayed there this summer.
It feels really just sophisticated and clean and lovely.
Bees buzz about lavender in the garden next to the restaurant's terrace, where multi-course French meals are served. The building dates back to 1824 in the tiny picturesque village of Pouligny-Montrachet.
It's one of the best regions for the white wine and the red wine in France.
In California wine country, the Four Seasons Resort and Residences Napa Valley sits in the middle of a vineyard with rooms overlooking the vines.
We're the only luxury hotel that is set amongst a working winery in the Napa Valley, so our guests literally get a hands-on experience while staying here.
That translates into high-end pours without leaving the grounds, paired with Oro Restaurant's tasting menu that just received a Michelin star.
The culinary options also take a leading role here at the new Ritz-Carlton Nomad in New York City, where Michelin-starred chef Jose Andres helms the food and drink program.
Pick your potion in the lobby bar before hitting Mediterranean restaurant Zaitinya, or head up to the swanky rooftop lounge where the city lights dance.
This is the first time in my 30-year career that I've worked in a hotel where you have an exceptional view from every single room.
A sanctuary to dream about that next perfect trip. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
Lodging Econometrics predicts almost 700 new hotels are expected to open just in the U.S. next year. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, could AI outsmart porch pirates before they get your holiday packages? Then on KOAM News at 6, Mercy Hospital in Joplin wins an appeal in a case that went all the way to the Missouri Supreme Court. Plus, alleged environmental violations will cost a Southeast Kansas manufacturer more than $130,000 in penalties. And a pair of Galena High School football standouts signed to continue their careers in college. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Not raining at the moment, but we have plenty of rain chances in the forecast.
Yeah, showers really start to increase. They're going to be very light on Thursday, but especially Thursday night into Friday morning, we're going to get a pretty good batch that rolls through. And then it really increases again late Saturday, Christmas Eve into Christmas morning. Of course, we'll have more on this tonight at 6.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.